Here's an example of why it's important to give ourselves credit for progress while we're in the process of healing. Because when we don't give ourselves credit, we don't recognize it, it might lead us to get stuck in a mood for longer than what's necessary. And in fact, the mood was not even based on the reality, because we thought we didn't do well when we actually did quite well. The rest of this video was actually made back in January. It's March now, the end of March, so 2 months ago. I just noticed that I missed posting it. Whoops. I thought about redoing it, but I like it the way it is. It's a bit long, and it's about exactly one of those situations where I got into a mood for an entire day, just bad mood and everything, avoiding. Wasn't the worst mood that could have been, so it didn't cycle way out of control, but it was because a mood from the day before where I thought I had done poorly flowed over. But as you'll see in the video, it was actually quite a good day. But I need my therapist to tell me that. So watch out for that kind of stuff yourselves. And sometimes you need to, it can be helpful to get other perspectives as well. So take care. You know, sometimes we got to remember or learn to give ourselves more credit for our efforts when we're working through our internal stuff than what we tend to. Past couple days, I had considered it to be not really particularly good days. And this is after a good month and a half of having really good days, especially after the beginning of December when that's a very down week. But 2 days ago, honestly, I just woke up super tired, physically tired. I don't think there's anything more to it than just for whatever reason, I was physically tired. But I still did my morning meditation. I was going to do my workout, but I didn't have time because like a multi-hour life coaching webinar was happening, and I had to get to that. So I was like, oh, I'll do this after. But I figured I'd wake up throughout the day too. But through the whole time, I was just feeling physically tired the whole time. Every time they do a little energizing session, my body did not want to do it. It's like, but I did it anyway. But I still participated, took notes, did everything. Afterward, later in the day, I talked to my friend, and then I had to do some cooking. But I was like, I could tell my mood was starting to be affected by my physical tiredness, because I've noticed in the past, hey, this is when your defenses are down, some of the negative thoughts can come in. It wasn't really a lot of negative thoughts even, it was just, I could just tell my mood was getting affected. And instead of cooking, spend a couple hours on my feet cooking, I was like, maybe I just go get some rest first. So I reset, maybe do some meditation again. I'd already decided at that point, I'm not gonna do my workout now. I'm too physically tired. I got some physical activity during each of those little energizing sessions. There's at least 7 of them. I'm like, I could work out tomorrow because yesterday was supposed to be the day off from the workout anyway, so I'll just switch it. But then when I went to relax, I started watching YouTube videos instead. I'm like, I'll just watch this one, and then another, and then I just kept watching instead of getting into the meditation. I even fell asleep for a bit of it. I mean, I was lying down, so I was still resting, but I could tell it, it wasn't helping my mood, and my mood was just like, I was a little disappointed in myself by the end of the night for that, wasting all that, probably 4 hours, 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours, because after 4. And then yesterday, yesterday was just a waste of time. I did do my meditation, but I didn't work out. I had the energy. I had more energy, even though I didn't sleep well. But I don't know, my mind was just like, I think the mood was still carrying over. I even kept thinking, like, should I check in with people? Should I tell people, hey, I'm getting in my head a little bit, like I'm not cycling. And I probably should have. But I didn't. I was arguing with myself all day. I even did 2 mirror work sessions with myself and trying to talk to myself. And at one point, I was telling myself, it's like I had the thought of, like, I'm tired of the same cycle happening. I'm like, well, if you're sick of the same things happening, then do something different, Ken. I started like saying that to myself over and over again for a while. It's like, but then I was refusing to do anything different. It was just frustrating. And even when I was doing my mirror work, I was talking to myself, and I'm like, part of me like is tired of having the same pattern happening, but then I'm like, well, then do something different. And the other part of me, that internal part of me is like, no, I don't want to do anything different. I'm almost like, you can't have it both ways, Ken. You can't have it both ways. It's like you can't be sick of doing the same cycle, but then refusing to change anything. It's like it's like this is self-defeating. It's like you got to pick one or the other. And back and forth, and just trying to work with myself. And yeah, yesterday was a wash, but at therapy today, I told my therapist about this stuff, and he was like, "Ken," it's like, yeah, maybe yesterday was a wash, and that's what we're gonna look at more. Going, well, why were you still sticking with that? It's like, well, did you not end your day on Sunday? You not let it go? But Sunday. It's like, that was a successful day for you, Ken. It's like, give yourself some credit. Like, you were physically tired the whole day. You recognize that, but you did all of this stuff. You meditated, you did the life coaching stuff, you took your notes, you participated in the activity stuff. You noticed that it was getting your mood down. You decided to do some self-care and say, you know what, I'm not going to do my workout today. I'll do it tomorrow, switch my day off. You even went to lie down for a bit. It's like, yeah, you ended up doing YouTube instead of meditating like you wanted to, and then you spent more hours than you wanted, but like that's only the last 4 or 5 hours of the day. Like, the rest of the day you were actively working and doing those things, and you weren't letting it get, So it's like this is a very successful day for yourself. It's like, think about that, Ken. And so that's the point of what I'm trying to get at here is that it's really hard to see when we're succeeding and gauge what is a successful day and what isn't when we're focusing on the one part of it that wasn't up to our standards, that even then it wasn't too bad. It's like, yeah, I could have gotten other stuff done. I could have made more useful of it, and probably because didn't process that and didn't give myself credit for the day at the end of the day, then my mood carried on the next day, even though physically I had more energy, even though I slept worse. And I blew the whole day. But hey, I did my workout this morning, and gotta do some cooking now. And I know it's hard to spot it, but he does have a good point. And my bestie also, when I was talking to her the day after my therapy session, she says like, yeah, and also remember, is like what we tend to do, we have these down times, and those aren't even the bad times. Afterwards, we'll beat up on ourselves for hours or days or weeks. It's like, that's the part that really takes us out, me particularly. So it's like, I was like, yeah, it's a good reminder, it's a good point. If I get back on track and I don't beat myself up over the one day yesterday, especially when it's like one day plus a few hours out of a month and a half where I've been doing really, really well. Like, even in my mirror work yesterday, I was talking to myself and telling myself, Ken, it's like, yeah, because I just literally said out loud, life isn't worth it. And that's why I was like, did my mirror work right after that. I'm like, no. I'm like, Ken, is life really not worth it, Ken? Because look at how many good times you had and how many bad times. Honestly, look at it. It's like, how much have you had more of? I'm like, I've had more positive times than negative times. Like, right. So is it really not worth it? Like, is this really what you want? You really want to throw things away because you're just a little bit down now, and it's gonna pass. Look at all the other, like, even just in the past month and a half. Okay, a day plus a few hours, and the rest of that first day was just physical tiredness. It's like, okay, I was physically tired, big deal. But taking in things into proportion, it's that part of me is like, I know that I'm gonna have these parts where I'm still trying to. It's an old pattern that I'm still trying to work with. Still got to heal. Still got to keep getting better at. But part of that is also recognizing that, hey, okay, give ourselves credit for when we have actually been doing the work too. So yeah, keep that in mind. So anyway, that's all. See you.